This is Miles from Miles of Alaska channel videos, and this is meant for subscribers, and this is longer footage. I've got a variety of things I offer that are in categories, and since I don't know what interests you, I'm giving a sampling of everything that's connected together. And I don't know what your interests are. I've got 7 categories: art, knives, raw materials, some how-tos, wildlife footage, separate fossils footage, and my books. So you can go to my categories on my channel and pick out the subject that interests you the most. I have a lot of wildlife footage, like this beaver swimming by the boat, and boating on the river is where I get a lot of my footage.
There you go.
So this is the hat I wear that's practical when it's cool, and it's sort of my gnome hat. And then this is me when I'm just around town, my practical hat. It's my sun visor when I'm out on the river. I don't wear it like that too much. Sometimes I wear it like this.
I don't see you. Go ahead.
Huh? Can you see me?
Keep talking.
Okay. And now, oh man, I'm bald without any hat. You don't see me without any hat too often unless you're my friend. And there's my hat when I do shows with the fancy beadwork to look the part of Indiana Jones, but as you can see, the feathers they got messed up by the airlines. I didn't sue them, but, you know, I should have sued them. They wrecked my feathers. But anyway, that's my show hat. So those are like the three moods or 3 hats I wear. Okay, cut! So continuing on the river with the kinds of footage I get, here's a duck doing its fake injury bit and then flying away. And here is a peregrine falcon. I can't get top footage. It's hard to get close to them. And I sometimes see clusters of butterflies like this in the mud. I don't know if they're getting minerals from the mud or not, but I stopped to get this video footage one time. So I've got a lot of creek, river, boat scenery, and here I'm showing it's a how-to, how to build a little cabin in a weekend. So this is a $300 garden shed kit that I show how to reinforce so it'll handle the weather. See the pole across that supports the roof. So in these kinds of videos, I try and explain like the kinds of things you might need to outfit yourself to be out in the wilderness, some of the basics, where you get them, what they look like, that sort of thing, if that interests you. I'm out in the woods, I'm looking for materials, and here's a lot of downed wood, and I show what I do with it here. I stain it, stabilize it, use it for selling for knife handle material. Here is a winter scene on the river, what it looks like in the wintertime, and that's me in the wintertime in one of my sheds I built. And there's me in the winter, that's my sign, Miles of Alaska. This is what I look like when I wanted to be a mountain man a long time ago. Senior now, and this is a mammoth tusk. I'm still out hunting for fossils, and here I am with a boat you can hardly see with a mammoth tusk in it, and you'll see at the end a swallow flies right by while I'm doing my footage within a foot of me, so I showed that. But anyway, this is a 12-foot mammoth tusk I'm hauling home. Taken a lot of years to learn how to successfully find fossils, and there's a lot of legal aspects to be careful of. You have to know whose land you're on, for example. You can't just run out and grab up fossils off the land. Mode a subsistence lifestyle, and here I'm harvesting meat, and that's an aspect not everybody agrees with, but it's an important part. Transportation's important. Here's a float plane. I've been written up in the news media as a survival expert. Two gardening things. There's a jar of pickles. Here is a wolf track as big as my hand. It's not always easy there. My boat sank. Other times it's beautiful, like this shot here. I get a lot of sunset footage. Hanging salmon for dog feed in the wintertime, and here I am catching pike for recreation. Here's the mountain view in Denali Park. I get a lot of footage in the park and mountain shots of wilderness with hardly any roads. I'm a snowbird and have a place in Arizona. I get footage there. Here's some quail at my home in Arizona. And I tell people what all this footage has in common is that I'm not just offering videos, I'm offering a lifestyle and a way of life that I believe in, and that's what connects all these things. My art, my books, my videos, my audio, all speaks about a lifestyle through different mediums. I also tell people to figure out what it is you like to do and find a money angle. In other words, get paid for having fun. So that's another thing I'm trying to show is all these things I'm showing you are ways that I make my living. And this is my mailbox in Arizona that's a dinosaur, since I'm a fossil hunter, that holds up my mailbox. So people know that this is the guy who does the fossils. This is where I live. There you go, with the sunrise and the mailbox. Here's my home in Nenana, Alaska, a 1916 log cabin with a nice lilac tree. This is back in Arizona looking out the trailer, and I look out this window and get a lot of my Arizona footage. This is an eagle's nest in a cactus tree, and it's only been photographed a handful of times in civilization. Doesn't even know that eagles make nests in trees. Here's some flowers that I like to do, both Arizona and Alaska. I've been taking flower pictures since I was 12 years old. And I was offered a job taking pictures for a card company way back then. So again, figuring out how to make money at what you love to do. And here is a moth, and you can look through his wings and see the flowers. And I do a lot of footage in the house, out in the yard, filming the cat, filming the local goings-ons, and so this is our cat called Bacon. I've been told that I'm very gifted artistically. I've been in the news since I was 5 years old. I've been in Alaska Magazine, Geo Magazine in Europe, the New York Times. But rather than brag about how gifted I am, I always add, but tweaked. And being tweaked might not show up directly in the video. Sometimes it's in the odd presentation, or if I'm promoting it, I'm very likely to get involved in a social indiscretion, like discuss the subject of killing animals and guns and survival, things like this, and there's a hush in the crowd, and all of a sudden I can't sell my book, and my sales go down, and I'm going, oops! So I don't know what to say, when to be quiet, what to talk about, and I'm not very good at following rules. So one of the things I do is make custom knives. This handle is resin with pine cones. Here is a handle made out of a saber-toothed tiger tusk. I acid etch the steel blades with a concoction of acid I make myself. Here I've got a knife with mammoth ivory sheath, which is unusual, with a mammoth ivory handle. So for those interested in knives, I have some how-tos on how to make them. I show for the buyer how I made the knife. They're all hand-drawn, one-of-a-kind, hand-etched. For blank blades for people that make their own knives, ready to put a handle on. I custom make the guards. Here's some how-to on how to flatten out ivory in a vise in one of my how-to videos. Here's some acid etching and how I do that and what that looks like. Here's copper added, hammered into the steel. Here's some enamel baked into the blade. All materials I find, these are pieces of mammoth tusks that I put together with resin and stabilize and turn into a product that can be used for artwork. I show how to do that. I've been doing art from my own materials most of my life, so I offer quite a lot of that, show a little bit about how to do it. Here's a squash blossom necklace I designed and made. Here is how I hold a stone with only 3 points holding the stone. This is jade held up to the light that I cut myself. This is jasper that's red, green, and quartz. Here is a necklace clasp I designed and made for a custom necklace. I offer them for sale. Here's a bunch of castings of knife guards. I make my living doing all this. This is the money from just one show, the cash. These are piles of $1,000. Dial 911. This is a trap baited with a $5 bill. It's a rat trap with a grapple hook on it that will grab you by the hand and you can't get away. This is a unique neck knife with an ivory sheath, and look what I've done with the opal, making an opal handle. Hardly anyone does that. Here's an opal, and I use a lot of seconds. Notice that one's cracked. This one's not cracked, at a higher price. This is not opal, this is glass, and I'm using it as a reject bead. It's flat, and I turned it into a pendant. My houseboat for 25 years, so getting away from my artwork, I have a lot of video of homestead life, running sled dogs. Modern days, this is my village of Nenana, interior Alaska, population 300 people. It's about 30 miles from Denali. This is the first footage I took with my drone. I'm learning how to use a drone and all excited. That's why it's a little bit choppy. It's my very first trip up in the air with the drone. The left there is the Nenana River and the bridge across the Nenana. And to the right of that is that's the railroad bridge, how the train comes in from Fairbanks. This is the Tanana River coming from Fairbanks, and it's 70 miles with no roads through the wilderness. I write a lot. I've been writing since I was a child. This is book 2. I've got 8 books out so far. So again, these are all things I would be making video of, and what connects them is that's part of my life and a lifestyle I believe in. I have a website here that you can go to that's sort of a landing page where you can get to all the other things I do.